What's happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. So we got another huge update. I know you guys could probably already tell it is going down. Just by that title alone, definitely gonna want to see this one, as we got that Fox News The 5 host Harold Ford Jr. back at it again, guys. He's battling it out head to head against that Jessica Tarlov, competing to see who's been most affected by that Trump derangement syndrome. And I will say he is making a very strong case in this newest update, guys. I'm excited to get into it. So now straight into it, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Before we even get into it, you guys, hit that like button, also hit that subscribe button for your boy. And without further ado, let's jump straight into it, folks. Check this out.
Wow, that looks great. All right, you know, Jesse, how unusual. I mean, the power of eliminating positions and sectors and agencies and line items for people who weren't even elected and aren't employees, but we have total faith in those two.
I do. I love those two, and I like them together. Musk and Vivek, just perfect. And I think Musk might be running for president. I'm going to put it out there.
Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson.
Where was he born?
South Africa.
Oh, he can't?
Hello, Jesse.
Ah, man. I'm predicting he's not running for president.
Good call.
But so I looked at some of the things we're spending money on. $20,000 for a drag show in Ecuador. $100,000 to study if sunfish become more aggressive when given gin or tequila. $100,000 to study if quail are more promiscuous if given cocaine. You don't need a study. They are. $200,000 to make monkeys transgender. So that just, you take that off the table right there. And then we get ripped off for $500 billion, Judge, each year for fraud. We're defrauded for $500 billion. They just steal it and no one cares. No one does anything about it. We've had now 4 years in a row of a $7 trillion budget. Now, before the pandemic, it was like 3 or 4 trillionaire. We just doubled it, and then we kept it going even after the pandemic's over. So you got to slash that. You got to get rid of all these departments, and you got to make sure some of these people, if you move, say, the Department of Education to, I don't know, Omaha, maybe people don't want to relocate to Omaha. Maybe that may prompt them to look for jobs elsewhere, and that could help us out a lot because we're $36 trillion in debt.
Wow, guys. Jesse Waters hit the nail on the head where he said this team, this power dynamic, Elon Musk, Vivek. I mean, you got to think Vivek's been working behind the scene for the last 2 years, I believe, with the team, preparing for this. And then to match that up with Elon Musk. I mean, come on, you guys, forget about it. Chef's kiss. This is going to be a dynamic duo. I'm excited to see where they take things.
Thank you. All right, Dana. DOGE, it's an interesting term, and it's a form of cryptocurrency. Yeah. And what's amazing about it is this is no relation to Dogecoin. It's the Department of Government Efficiency. But it appeals to the crypto bros. It's like part of this whole feeling that we have about this new administration. It's kind of contemporary. It's with it.
So it's like this has been tried before, but not to this extent or with these types of people or with this kind of technology. So every administration comes in, they're like, we are going to do this. We're going to cut red tape. We're going to get rid of wasteful spending. The difference here is a couple of things. One, I think the two people involved, they probably never need to work another day in their life if they didn't want to, right? So they're doing this because they believe in public service and they want the country to do better. So their intentions are there and they're not looking to help themselves necessarily. However, don't at me on the electric vehicles. I'm going to get to that. The other thing that's different is that these are two very good communicators. So they will be able to do all those things that Jesse just said, but they will also use the technology in order to make it very transparent. So everybody can see it. You don't just have to watch one network or see it in one newspaper. It will be there for everyone.
I'm excited to see this new transparency with Elon Musk. Vivek Ramaswamy, Elon's already tweeted out saying, hey, there's going to be full access, full coverage. You'll be able to see where we've made government cuts at, where we're slashing spending and where we're going to continue spending at. And we'll also be able to, interject give them our opinion on whether we wanted it to be cut or whether it, should have stayed in place. I mean, come on, you guys, it's going to be night and day. But
they will also use the technology in order to make it very transparent, so everybody can see it. You don't just have to watch one network or see it in one newspaper. It will be there for everyone to see. I am interested to see if they do something on the real estate issue, because so many government employees have not come back to the office that we are paying rent. Federal taxpayers are paying rent on buildings where you have 7% occupancy, and that should end. That should go away. So that's one thing. But if you look at the budget as a pie, the majority of the spending is mandatory spending on Medicare and Social Security. So you can do all of those things, and it won't take you one day into taking care of the interest that we pay on our debt.
But we won't be touching
Social
Security.
But we will not be. But so they have their work cut out for them. But I think for both of them, one having done a significant amount of innovation and electric vehicles and other things, rockets and all that stuff. He knows what it's like to be under the heavy thumb of government. And Vivek Ramaswamy on the healthcare side of things, just personally, like watching my husband build a business for a product that is basically just building a better mousetrap. It's not anything new, and it takes so long to get anything approved.
A better what trap?
A better mousetrap. It's not a mousetrap, it's a surgical device. I'm just saying, it's just a phrase that if you want to build a better mousetrap, the government makes it so hard for you to ever actually get your business going that it holds people back. So that's the type of growth economy that they're talking about, I believe.
Harold, on the left, I think it's Alex Wagner who said that this whole thing is so Orwellian. Why is it so hard for people on the left to believe that there are those who have, positive interest in bettering this country, especially with Elon Musk? I mean, he gave us the Twitter files.
The last time we had a balanced budget was 1998, and it was a Democrat was in the White House. To Dana's point, the president she worked for had ideas on this. President Obama introduced Simpson Bowles. They came up with a set of ideas to try to reduce the debt, but President Obama didn't support their ideas once they put it forward. You even had President Clinton. He came in and allowed Al Gore to run something called Reinventing Government. I'm rooting for Vivek and rooting for Elon in this regard. I think the fact that neither of them have to work again. Elon's worth a couple $100 billion. And a lot of that wealth emanates from the car company. And certainly he understands the importance of government in the private sector, because his space company and one of his other companies, including Tesla, has benefited from certain government policy. It's going to be interesting because, Jesse, you made the point, Social Security won't be touched. I don't know how you really make a dent in the federal debt without looking at the entitlement programs. I'm not suggesting that they slash them.
And I just want to stop Hero Ford Jr. I hate when they do that. They try to classify Social Security as, an entitlement program. I feel like a lot of the older generations, since they were youngsters, 16, 15 years old, as soon as they were able to work, they were, their money was going towards this. It's no entitlement program. This is money these people have been putting towards this for their whole life.
Looking at the entitlement programs, I'm not suggesting that they slash things, but you're not going to be taken seriously when you talk about deficit reduction if you don't do that. The other reason I think it's important for President Trump to have this kind of effort underway, and they're formalizing it with the department, is that some of the things he's talking about, the tax cuts and other things, including tariffs, all of those have the capacity and the ability, at least in the past, to trigger inflation. So the way you would counter that is you would reduce spending in other areas. So I'm rooting for these guys, and I'm hopeful that they can find bipartisan ways to get this done, because you're going to need Democrats and Republicans to agree to some long-term fixes.
But, one of the interesting things is there is so much fraud going on in terms of the government. I mean, no, you really don't have to scare people about entitlements. I mean, we can start getting rid of the fraud in terms of, Medicare and Medicaid. I mean, as a local DA, I found millions. It wasn't even my charge. So anyway,
I don't think you're going to find $36 trillion worth of it.
You're going to find a lot.
I hope we do.
You're going to find a lot. But anyway, Greg, you want to wrap it up the way you want to wrap it up?
I'm just disgusted that your husband makes mousetraps.
Yeah.
It's a very cruel way.
Someone's got to do it.
It's a very cruel way to end a mouse's life. If you think this is a bad idea, Harold, then you're a debt denier.
I said it. I think it's a great idea.
I know. I'm just kidding. But you know what? It is a massive existential catastrophe just waiting for us. You can actually use the language of climate change correctly when talking about the debt. The only difference is we can actually do something about the debt. I love how they gave themselves a deadline. You know, bureaucrats never do that. Their only deadlines are when they're getting ready to go on vacation. It's July 4th, 2026, 18 months. It's an economic moonshot. None of these so-called experts, political leaders, took this role knowing that there's 35 trillion just sitting there, because a lot of these guys, let's be honest, they're going to be dead before it ever comes due. So they don't care. That'll be for somebody else. But this is what happens when you have the people in the government making decisions about how much money they get. So you need an outside force to come in, like these two fellas. They're the necessary outsiders. They are the Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson of our economy, and they're literally working for us without getting a dime. I think it's great.
Yep.
So in your face, Harold, a little premise.
And everyone agrees the government is spending too much.
Yo, there we have it, guys. Donald Trump tasking Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy to lead the Department of Government Efficiency. I'm excited to see what these two can do. You know, Vivek Ramaswamy, like I said, he's been working the last 2 years, so he's been prepping himself, prepping the team to, you know, dive in and slash unnecessary government spending. I'm excited to see what he can do. And then on the other hand, we got Elon Musk, a very brilliant mind, one of the guys you could call almost a genius on this planet. He's teaming up, and he wouldn't have agreed to this if he didn't really see that he can make some type of dent or impact on government spending, slashing it and cutting it down. So I'm excited to see what the two can do. Harold Ford Jr. showing that, you know, he is just not on board with the rest of America. He's calling Social Security an entitlement program. I'm just not sure if I can get on board with that. You know, these folks have been putting money into that since they were youngsters, started working, and you're going to tell me that, you know, the government's going to come in and slash spending there. I just don't believe that. Harold Ford Jr. proving he's lost once again, guys. Definitely hop in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Also, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you enjoy more content like this, catch you guys on the next one. We